She is a statewide leader and a dear friend, the Lieutenant Governor of the state of California, Lenny Kounalakis.
Thank you, Daryl. Thank you very much.
Wow, Daryl, you are 100% right. The lies that others tell, the way that we combat it is by telling the truth again and again. Love trumps hate. And we are a nation of immigrants, a state of immigrants, and we are proud of our diversity, proud of our immigrants, proud of our first-generation Californians. That is who we are, and we are proud, very proud of our AAPI community in Sacramento and across the state of California. Yeah! And I tell you, we have a treasure in California, and his name is C.C. Yin. C.C. and the work you've done with the Papa to organize and bring all of us here today to tell the stories of truth, to bond together, and to support one another is incredibly important. Thank you, C.C., and thank you, Anita, for everything she does.
Amy Tong.
Well, I was talking, and of course, Amy Tong, thank you for your incredible leadership. And Regina, thank you for your incredible leadership. And I want to also just call out Senator Richard Pan. Senator Pan. His leadership as a doctor, as someone who can speak the truth and the basis of science as the decision-making of government is second to none. Dr. Senator Pan, thank you for your leadership. Now, and it's extremely important we speak out against it, but there are other things that we do as well. And I want to thank Richard Pan for his leadership along with the Assembly and the Senate together to get the funding for the hotline and to do more to bring information to our communities in order to organize and protect our seniors in particular. And I also want to say, and you know, Mayor Steinberg, you really hit on this as well, which is that leadership matters and the voices of leadership matter. We had a real problem with the last administration. And I don't want to dwell, I don't want to look in the past. But what we have now in Washington, D.C. is a leader in Joe Biden who reminds us that we are greater and stronger together. Woo! And a Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, a member of the AAPI community, the daughter of an immigrant from India, and a leader for all of us. Woo! Kamala Harris, our Vice President. California with nothing, worked in the fields as a farm worker, made his way to Sacramento and went to Sacramento State, got an education, so important in the Greek community and so many of our immigrant communities, and was able to live the California dream. We are 27% foreign-born in California. More than 1 in 4 of us were born outside of the country. This is much higher than the national average, which is about 14%. We are also the 5th largest economy in the world in California if we were a nation. There is a connection between being a beacon of hope, a beacon of equality, a beacon of open society that calls people from around the world to come to California. There is a connection between all of that goodness, all of that hope, all of that positivity, all of that opportunity, and our incredible success as a society and as an economy. So for everyone out there who ever feels like somehow we're a problem as immigrants and children of immigrants, let's just remind them that We are the ones who have built this economy to what it is today. We are the ones who build those small businesses that keep our economy running. We are the ones who lead big companies that are changing the world. That is who we are. That is the immigrant community. That is the AAPI community. That is all of you. Thank you. Thank you all for everything you do.
Thank you.
And
Thank you, thank you. And before I begin, let's give another round of applause for our Lieutenant Governor, Eleni Koulonakis. So I'm Dr. Richard Pan. I'm your state senator representing Sacramento. First of all, I want to thank Apapa, I want to thank Cece and Regina Yin so much for your leadership. I want to thank Amy Tong, who also, by the way, is in charge of IT here for the state. So she keeps everything running here. Yeah, let's give her a round of applause. The problem is she only gets news reports when things go wrong, not when everything goes right. So let's give her a round of applause for all the things that go right in California. So it's great to see everyone here today, here in Sacramento, standing against hate, united against hate. Now I'm going to tell you that I'm actually the first Asian American to represent Sacramento in the state legislature. Now, the reason I mentioned that is because, we've already celebrated 150 years of Chinese American laborers helping build the Transcontinental Railroad, which, of course, started here in Sacramento, right? Now, so think about it. 150 years, more than 150 years later, I'm the first Asian American to represent Sacramento in the state legislature. It's been too long. The other thing I should mention is that in these hallowed halls here, we're standing in front of the state capitol. It's actually kind of challenging in there because you got to remember, it is in these halls that they pass legislation saying people like us cannot own or lease property. It is in these halls where they pass laws to say that to urge Congress to ban us from coming to this country. In fact, we were the first illegal immigrants because we were banned from directly immigrating to the United States with the Chinese Exclusion Act, which later was expanded to other Asians. And so we had to come through Mexico to come to this country. Asian women were forbidden for coming into this country. Of course, the law doesn't say Asian women, of course. They just kind of implied that Asian women were involved in things like sex trafficking and crimes and other types of things. And therefore, the customs person would look at them and go, nope, sorry, you can't come in, right? During World War II, of course, the federal government incarcerated Japanese Americans, but the state of California fired Japanese Americans who worked for the state because they were potentially disloyal. So we have a long history in this building of discriminating against Asians. And that is what we're here to say, that needs to change. It's changed, but we will no longer be silent. We are not invisible.
that's right, yes.
We are Americans, and we deserve to be treated equally to all Americans. I should also mention that, yes, also, we also stand in solidarity with our Black and Latino brothers and sisters, right? Okay, because they have their own challenges. We partnered with the Latino community in the Farm Workers Union, the Filipino farm workers who came over to farm their fields, right? We have Japanese farmers, we have the Sikhs, the Hmong, other people who, the South Asians, and so there are people from across Asia, across the Pacific Islands too, right? And I want to particularly recognize our Native Hawaiian Pacific Islanders here. Thank you so much. I know sometimes you feel like you become invisible in our invisibility, so we want to recognize you distinctly. The United of the state right here to address API hate. As chair of the API Legislative Caucus, we are fighting to be sure that we are represented in the halls of government. And in fact, one of the things that we're doing as well is we're calling on the governor to support a budget package, $200 million budget package, specifically support our community and be sure that we have access to the other services as well in the state budget. We will be seen. We are an equal part of this country and this state. So as you're one of your elected representatives, I'm here to fight for our community, to fight for our state. We also need to be sure we have leaders in other sectors as well. We held a hearing where we showed that a variety of different fields. So I'm a doctor. In medicine, we do not have many API who are medical school deans. In fact, I think there's only one in the whole country, right? We look at law, we need more API judges. We look at entertainment, we need more API in front of the screen. We see business and tech, we need more API as CEOs and board and on corporate boards. We are not just the worker bees in the front and the talent that's making things going. We should also be the leaders of this state and this country.
Thank you, Dr. Pan. It's great to be here in Sacramento with all of you. Glad to see so many faces, so many great people out today. Let me also, I'm going to start by thanking Amy first, and then I'll thank CC and Regina. And thank you, Apapa, for coming out today and organizing this great, great rally. Dr. Pan talked about our community and that we've been here for 150 years. We've been working the restaurants. We've been working so much of the services. We built the railroad. We were doing laundry for everybody before. Asian hate is not something new. It goes back to the 150 years when we've been here. If you go back to all of our history, every time that we immigrated, every time we came, every step of the way, we had to fight API hate. But I think the difference is now we've learned how to fight and we've learned how to stand up. For so long, we were told, and I'm sure you heard it from your families and from your parents, that you just got to work hard, keep your head down, don't complain, don't say anything, just make sure you just keep working hard. And that's not the way that things get done in this country. That's not the way that we get resources. That's not the way that we get help, and that's not the way that we make change. We have to stand up. We have to make our voices heard. We have to say, stop AAPI hate. Stop AAPI hate. Stop AAPI hate. And it's not enough. We can't do it alone. If we all say no to the hate, if we all say that it's not just about AAPI hate, it's about hate against the African American community, it's about hate against the Latino community, it's about hate against the LGBT community, it's about hate to every single community. If we say no to all of that, they have nowhere to go. All these folks have nowhere to go.
That's right.
And that's why it's so important. I know that family is so important to each and every single one of us, but each and every single one of our families, we cannot do it alone. We absolutely have to stand together. That's why it's so important that you're here to voice your opinion. You're here to say no to the hate, but it's also important that when other communities need our help, that we go there. When other communities need resources, we support it. But now that we need their help, we're asking them to stand with us. And that's why it's great to see all the elected leaders, so many leaders from different communities, from all different communities around Sacramento saying, we're going to stand together. The people who hate are not going to win. They never do. We're going to win on this fight. We're going to stand up and our voices are going to be heard. Thank you.